To me, Initial D is in a league of its own. No other show has been able to get my blood pumping like this one. There's so many things that make this show hype, and I don't think that there's another anime out there that can overload me with adrenaline like this. And while it is a really old show and isn't the most pretty, I still think it's an anime that everybody should watch, at least the first couple episodes, which you should definitely do because the first 2 seasons are available for free on Funimation's YouTube channel. But those are all in subbed. I'd recommend watching the dub if you can, that's how I watched it, but I've never really cared too much about voice acting, so I'll leave the ball in your court for that one. Initial D is about a boy named Takumi who really doesn't give a damn about driving or racing, but low-key has been trained to be a god behind the wheel. He's been doing tofu delivery for his dad since he was like 8 years old or some shit, which involved driving a whole mountain pass every day, winter, summer, rain, or shine. That, bundled with stuff like the water cup that his dad made him do, where you'd have to drive the whole mountain pass without having any water spill out to ensure the tofu wouldn't be ruined, built Takumi into a demon behind the wheel. That's right, this boy's been illegally ripping his dad's shitter whip for like 5 years before the series even starts. That's the basic premise of the story. Kid who's been trained to have insane driving technique but really does not give a damn about racing or driving has to race people. But obviously through the series you get to watch Takumi develop a love for racing and driving, which pretty much propels him to the next level. So right off the bat we have a sick plot, but there's so many more things that makes this anime one of the greats in my eyes. One of those things is how they set up each race, mainly done with how well each rival or opponent is written. Some are nice, some are complete assholes that you hate, but in the end they all end up sleeping on Takumi. They doubt his skills, and more than that, his car. The contrast in the viewer's knowledge of how good Takumi is and how good the characters think he is gets you hyped to watch Takumi obliterate them. And with the way the show is written and how everybody talks about Takumi, sometimes it even makes me doubt if Takumi can win. Another one of Initial D's strong suits is the shot composition. The shot composition is done so well. There's so many different kinds of shots they do to show off the cars while racing, and it really adds to the sense of speed while you're watching. Those combined with the interior shots of the shifting and footwork make you feel like you're right there in the driver's seat racing down the mountain pass. To add to the great shot composition, every once in a while they'll go through a corner, it will go to one of the spectators and they'll say something like, "How's that clunky old 8.6 keeping up with that top line FD?" Or we'll cut to Ryosuke or Takumi's dad Bunta where they will say some stuff like, "Clearly the 8.6 is a much slower car, but the way it handles corners will put it at an advantage, especially with Takumi behind the wheel." These extra shots of people talking does a great job to pace the show and add suspense to every race, as well as there's a lot of actually accurate information so you can learn about cars and racing overall. Which, by the way, the reason why the show is so accurate to real life is because they had the Drift King Kaishi Tsushiya. I'll just let him introduce himself.
My name is Keiichi Tsuchiya. I'm a racing driver from Japan.
Yeah, they basically had that guy there to help them out and give them reference to make sure everything that they put in was factual and accurate to real life. The whole show was kind of based off him because of a drift tape that he made called Plus P, but that's not really relevant to why the show's good. I just thought it was cool. Some cool little information for you. All of this is great, and Initial D is already an amazing show because of it. But there's one more thing that's just the cherry on top that really pushes the feeling of you being in an intense, high-speed race to the next level. The music. Initial D's soundtrack is very unique, and the whole genre it uses is pretty much only popular today because of Initial D. It matches with the show so perfectly, I don't think I've seen another anime utilize the soundtrack so well. So Takumi is racing his opponent. They're both sweaty and nervous as fuck. The shot cuts to somebody to mention some specific variable about this race, like his opponent is in a front-wheel drive car, which is way better than any rear-wheel drive car on the downhill, but since it's relying on its front tires to brake and corner, they'll be much more worn out. This is going to give Takumi the slight edge in these last few corners. And right when it cuts back from whatever explanation was just given, the music that you barely noticed was there before kicks in. If you're already hyped up on the race before this point, get ready because the music is just going to give you 10 shots of adrenaline all at once. The music turns the hype dial from 10 to 10,000 in a fucking second. The music just matches racing so perfectly, and I'm sure me and many others are listening to it pretty much every single time we're driving recklessly on the highway or on dirt roads. So Initial D doesn't only have the same thing that all the other grades have with amazing shot composition, pacing, and writing, but the music just adds that extra punch, which is all it needs to make it this bundle of off-the-wall hype racing. You don't even have to know anything about cars or racing to enjoy the show. Hell, before I started watching, I didn't give a shit at all about cars or racing. I was Takumi, but as he got more invested into racing, so did I. If you're able to look past the really outdated visuals, Initial D has a lot it can offer you for your free time. And if you haven't already, I'd definitely give it a shot. Watch like the first 3 to 4 episodes and you'll know if you like it or not. Anyways, that's it for me. Thanks so much for continuing your support and watching my videos. I'll see you guys next week.
Hey, it's fuck the police and your mama if you ask me. I recognize niggas before they turn into an athlete. Intimidator, I'm just tryna him where the band be. She want a loyal nigga, well that's something that I can't be. 14, Thule in my jeans, hella ashy. I don't know these bitches, I'ma call them all Ashley. Yeah, I got the Thule at the table, but I'm classy. Belly me a nigga, make him wish he got his ass beat. 15, Gleeky in my drawers, I'm a lost cause, niggas couldn't